My brother actually popped a bottle of vintage champagne right in the middle of our father's funeral reception, laughing like he'd just hit the ultimate jackpot while the rest of us were still wiping away tears. See, Mark always convinced himself he was the undisputed golden child, the one destined for greatness, despite moving 3 states away and failing to call even once over the last 5 years. He strutted into that lawyer's office the following morning, wearing a custom suit that cost more than my car, already loudly debating which Italian sports car he was going to purchase with his massive inheritance. I just sat there in my dusty work clothes, silent and exhausted, just wanting the ordeal to be over. My father had spent his final 3 years fighting a losing battle with his health, and I was the one who drove him to every appointment, cooked every single meal, and stayed awake holding his hand through the darkest nights. Mark only showed up for the burial to make sure he was first in line for the money. When the lawyer finally started reading, Mark was leaning back with his expensive shoes on the mahogany table, smirking at me like I was nothing more than a footnote in his success story. The lawyer cleared his throat and announced that Mark was to receive our father's vintage Rolex. A stunning piece of history, sure, but Mark's face instantly turned white because he was expecting the millions. Then, the room went dead silent. The lawyer read the primary clause, every other asset, the real estate holdings, the family business, and the entire investment portfolio was being left entirely to me. My father's own words were written into the document, explaining that he knew exactly who had stayed when the lights started fading and who had only appeared for the payout. Mark went from celebrating to screaming in seconds, but the will was airtight. He walked out with a watch he didn't deserve, while I kept the legacy he never bothered to earn. If you've ever seen karma hit a greedy relative like that, hit follow and share your story below.